Hey everyone, welcome to Micro Adventures. I'm Ellie, this is Josiah. We are outdoors, live in Mexico, and today we're gonna do a full body workout with your cables. So if you have the Legree cables with the foot straps, that would be excellent. What I would suggest doing is hooking up the cuffs to the back edge of your carriage, making sure those cuffs are nice and straight. And then when we're ready to use the cables, we'll just go ahead and clip them on for that segment of class. And when we're finished with the cables, we'll go ahead and unclip them and set them off to the side. You'll need some space behind your machine. If you have a yoga mat or something you'd like to roll out to one side of the machine, we're gonna do 2 moves lying down on our back today. Let's go ahead and get started. You ready?
Woohoo!
Woohoo, let's do it. We will start off on one weight spring. And we're gonna start in a Cobra wheelbarrow combo. So knees on your carriage, hands to your front platform, and just go ahead and take a moment to set your body up. So aligning yourself from the crown of your head down through your knees. I want you to think about wrapping your abs in and around you. Light squeeze of the glutes to lengthen through the low back. Take your eye gaze down to the floor in front of you, and then we'll start with the wheelbarrow. So sending yourself out slowly away from the front platform. Find that pause, that catch in your abs. Use your abs and your lats to pull your body forward. And then once the shoulders are over the wrists, this next one we'll do a cobra. So bending through the elbows as you slide your body away from the front platform. Awesome. And as we do cobra, right, really important that we're not swaying through our lower back. So always think about lifting the abs actively away from the floor. Making sure the chin is off of the chest, the shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, and we're really just warming up our body. And the goal in Cobra is not necessarily to touch your elbows down to your front platform. Chances are that platform isn't even big enough to set your forearms on really. You're just finding a bend in the elbows, this engagement in your triceps, right? And you're taking the elbows as low as you can maintain this plank shape in your body. Good, nice control here, Josiah. So we'll be here for just about 15 more seconds. Hands are gonna stay, toes will replace our knees. We're gonna get into a pike bear combo in 4, 3, 2, and 1. So come on up to the toes, hands stay. From here, we're gonna use our core and go plank to pike. So pike the hips up, keep the tension in the abs, good. And then pause at the top of your pike, bend your knees. You're gonna lower down into a bear hover. Now send the carriage back out away from you. Perfect. So slowly use the abs. We find that pike here, right? Pause at your peak, slowly lower the knees down till hips are level with the shoulders, and then stretch the carriage back out. Awesome. So all the tension really staying in the core here, right? Shoulders stay away from the ears. This becomes too intense at any point. You can go back to wheelbarrow, you can go back to cobra, right? The goal is to try to maintain your form in every single exercise, and then to take an option to peel back the intensity as you need it, but keeping the muscles engaged the whole class. We're gonna go 15 seconds. It'll be forearms to the front platform, knees onto the carriage. We're gonna hit a kneeling crunch. In 5, 4, 3, 2, forearms down, knees down. So I like to place my elbows kind of across that front platform. My forearms are kind of going over it as well. We'll find a kneeling crunch here. So inhale to prepare, exhale, I want you to round through the spine, chin towards the chest, squeeze your abs to slide the carriage in, and then lengthen back out. So try not to let any other part of your body do this movement other than your abs. And this is really active because the spring is supporting us on the front of the machine versus at the back of the machine when we'd be resisting, right, pulling against that spring tension. So this is super, super active, meaning you gotta think about it. Exhale, squeeze your abs, and from that squeeze, you start to round through the spine, you start to scoop out through the abdomen. Good. And then notice your range of motion. There's going to be a place in this crunch that you feel it the most, right? So try to linger in that space where you're really feeling the abs working hard. In 4, I want you to find the toughest part of this crunch. We're gonna hold in 3, 2, find a little crunch, hold it right there. Give me a tiny little pulse, tiny little pulse, tiny little pulse, little squeeze. We're gonna lie down on our backs. Next, we're going leg lift into a reverse curl. You have 5, you have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step off the machine. Go ahead and lie down on the mat beside the machine for me, Josiah. Legs are gonna be straight up in the air. We're gonna go with a leg lift into a reverse curl. So legs up, head, neck, and shoulders resting on your mat. Lower back is gonna stay down. We'll lower the legs down towards the mat, and then it's going to be a reverse curl. Good, hips are gonna lift, legs are gonna extend straight up in the air. Awesome. And I would prefer it, if possible, if you guys can not place your hands beneath your hips, because you wanna be able to get this lower and this lift straight up. Think about an anchor resting on top of your core, really anchoring your abs down. Try to relax through the head, neck, and shoulders. And I don't care how low you take the legs, right? And in fact, we don't wanna take the legs so low that our lower back starts to arch off the mat. And you can get a little bit of tempo going to this one, okay? It doesn't need to be quite as slow as everything we do on the machine. A big bend in the knees if the hamstrings feel a little bit tight. Yes, nice, Josiah. And Josiah is doing an awesome job on that lower body curl, right? He's really pressing his feet straight up in the air. You'll notice his toes aren't going towards his head. They're really lifting up. That's gonna get you deep and low into your core. Awesome. We're gonna go 15 more seconds like this. We've got some crunches on deck. So we're gonna bring the fingertips behind the head. Legs can stay straight up in the air, or you can plant the soles of your feet on the mat. We're just gonna hit some perfect crunches in 3, 2, and 1. So feet up or down, hands behind the head, inhale, exhale, scoop through the low belly, slowly curl head, neck, and shoulders off of the mat. Find your highest point, right? See if you can lift your chest a little higher when you get to the highest point of your crunch, and then lower it back down. Nice. And I can see Josiah's core is getting a little shake to it, right? It's not because necessarily that this crunch is like the hardest exercise ever, but we've really primed and warmed up the core here with all of these other moves. And he's doing this crunch like it matters, right? So that's what you want to think about, is really squeeze and use your abs. Think about your weight, the weight of your head being really heavy in your hands, and using your abs to draw your chest up towards your knees. Good. We're gonna get into legs after this, my friends. Hopefully you are standing on you're lying down on the correct side of your machine, which would be the right side, because we're gonna get into a right side floor lunge next. We got a couple pulses before we get there. In 4, curl it up and hold. In 3, 2, curl it on up, lift, hold. Give me a tiny little crunch, tiny little crunch, tiny little pulses. Can you lift your chest up a little bit higher? Weight of your head heavy in your hands. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Stand up. It is right side floor lunge in 2. And 1, go ahead, stand it all the way up, plant your right foot next to the front platform, left toes tuck wherever they're comfortable on the carriage, and let's go ahead and lower down into a front lunge, and we're gonna hold to start. So bring it on down. I want a nice hinge forward from the hips. Maybe you can find a 90-degree bend in your right knee. From here, we're gonna sweep the arms back behind us, squeeze your shoulder blades together, palms face up, and we're just gonna pump those palms up, up, up. Can you lean your chest forward over your thigh even more? You're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, pause. Hands can stay where they are. They can come to heart center. We're going carriage kicks. Left knee is gonna slide in underneath the hip. Keep freezing the right leg. Nice work, Josiah. 20 seconds in your carriage kicks. Then we are gonna go into our floor lunge down and up. Beautiful. 8 seconds to go here. Think about sitting your right glute down and back. Maybe tip forward from the hips just a little bit more so you're really firing up your glute. Left leg is long in 3, in 2, send the left leg out. Now drive down through the right heel, slowly lift up. Don't let that right knee creep forward as you lift. Good. Right back down into it. So, first leg exercise, really want to turn on the back side of your right leg. Okay, so in order to do that, what I'm gonna ask you to do is, as you lower down, you're slightly hinging forward from the hips, right? You're really loading the weight down through the right heel. And then as you lift, you're digging actively down through the right heel to slowly lift up. Good. In 4, we're gonna find a hold. In 3, 2, bring it on down, hold. This time slide the left knee in underneath the left hip. We're gonna go split squat. So see if you can sink a little lower. Dip down through the left knee, drive through right heel, slowly lift up. Can you still keep a little bit of a hinge forward from your hips, right? So that we're really getting the glute to fire up. Right knee stays over your ankle, but you're really gonna focus in on getting the glute to do the work as you lift down and up, taking some of the pressure out of the quad. In 4, drop it down low and hold. In 3, 2, sink it down low, hold. Send your left leg out, nice and long. Gorgeous, Josiah. Drive down through your right heel, floor lunge, full range of motion. Final 30 seconds in this move. We're gonna hit some uneven sumo squats next. So our right foot's gonna stay on the floor, our left foot's gonna stay on the carriage. We'll be facing kind of kitty corner into the machine. You've got just 15 seconds in this floor lunge. If you're looking for a little extra challenge, I suggest you hold for the final 10 seconds. We go uneven sumo squats, quarter turn to face into your machine in 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you're gonna take your feet out a little bit wider than the hips, knees and toes point out, perfect. And we're just gonna do a sumo squat, so sitting the hips down and back. So left foot on top of the carriage, wherever it's comfortable, make sure your left heel is making contact with the carriage. And then right away, if you feel super unstable, what you're gonna do is take your body and walk it closer to your back platform, because the more you push the carriage out, the more that spring will stretch and the more stable it will be. Awesome, both legs are gonna work in this one. Focus in on your core, sitting the weight back into your heels. Every time you come down, pause, drive through the heels, squeeze the glutes, slowly lift it up. Nice work, Josiah. Getting a lot of positive praise today. Are you feeling it? In 4, we're gonna take it down and hold. In 3, 2, let's take it down right here, hold. You're gonna sit your hips down and back an inch, lift up an inch. Now send the carriage out an inch, back in an inch. Sit the hips down and back, up, carriage out, in. Try to keep your body weight pretty even between your legs here. Okay, this is a double leg exercise. You might feel the right leg working a little bit more just because we've started that right leg already. You're here 10 more seconds in this variation. We go back to full range of motion in that sumo squat. Full range in 4, in 3, 2. Let's go full range right here. Oh, I did something not so nice. Okay, so on deck, we are gonna go back lunge, okay? That means our right foot is coming over the back platform. Our left toes will be tucked onto the carriage. And what I mean by not so nice is we don't really have our handlebars there because they'll get in the way of the strap work. So we're just gonna have to balance our way into it. We're going back lunge in 3, in 2, 1. From here, let's take the carriage to the back. You're gonna step your right foot over the back platform. You're gonna tuck your left toes wherever they're comfortable. So do you like the strap, Josiah? There we go. Now get your feet hip width apart, hips and shoulders squared, and then we're gonna start lowering down into that lunge. And you're gonna immediately find that you're getting a big hinge forward from your hips, just like Josiah is doing, right? To keep the length in your spine, to keep the tension out of your lower back, and to really load the glute muscle. Now we're really feeling the difference between working on the front of the machine where the spring is supporting us, and now on the back of the machine where we're pulling against that spring tension, right? And this is meant to be intense. This is gonna be your last lunge on the right side. I know this is a tough one. I want you to take a couple deep breaths. What's up?
It's not cool, bro.
Josiah says not cool. Not cool. Not cool, bro. All right, in 4, whether it's cool or not, we're gonna take it down. We're gonna hold in 3, 2, bring it down right here, hold. Let's go carriage kick. Slide the left knee in, slide the left leg out. I gotta give you something to focus your mind on as you hold here. Right knee over the ankle. Yes, you can. Maybe try to sit down just a little lower or just hold where you are. You're here for 4, for 3, 2, back leg is long, drive through the right heel, slowly lift it up. Awesome. Okay, this is the last lunge on the right leg. I need you to challenge your depth here, right? I know that you have range of motion that you're used to doing. I know that there's a place where you kind of naturally are gonna stop. I need you to dig a little deeper and try to push the envelope just a little bit more. That's it, right? Nice deep breaths. That's gonna help focus and steady your mind, to help fuel your muscles to get down into this last hold in 3, 2, bring it on down, hold. Let's go carriage kicks. You're under 20 seconds left here. You've got reverse kneeling inner thighs on deck. You'll just place your right knee on the back platform, left knee on the carriage. Right here, under 10. Here's 8, 7, stay low. Here's 6, breathe, shoulders back. Here's 4, 3, 2, reverse kneeling inner thighs. So one knee is on the back platform, One knee is on your carriage, right? Upright your spine, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs. Body weight is even between both legs. That is so important on this one. Big, big squeeze between the thighs. Draw the carriage towards the back platform. If you like to add a little flow to the arms, right, that gets a little bit more core, sometimes just gives you something to help slow down the legs. It's a great spot to pick up some weights if you want to do a lateral raise, shoulder press, a bicep curl, but we do have some upper body work coming with our cables as well, so don't sweat it if you're not picking up weights right now. In 4, we're going to take it out just halfway and hold in 3, 2. I want you to find that halfway point and just hold. Right? Focus on the inner lining of the thighs. Really feel the squeeze in your inner thighs holding you stable and steady. Keep breathing. Chin off the chest, shoulders back. Grow a little bit taller through the crown of your head. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're just holding for 2. Send it out all the way first, then back in, full range of motion. All right, friends. So when we finish this exercise, we are going to hook our cables to the back edge of the carriage, and we're going to do a donkey kick with our right leg. So we'll be facing the front of the machine. The cable that will be at the right side of the carriage will go around your right foot. Donkey kicks are on deck. In 4, send it out halfway and hold. In 3, 2, find that halfway point, hold. Final 10 seconds here. We'll hook up our cables. Donkey kicks for the right leg. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. So right here, we'll go ahead and hook up those cables. The one on the right-hand side, if you're facing forward, will go around your right foot. Your left knee will be on your back platform. Hands will come to the floor. So left knee here for me, Josiah, facing forward. Hands are going to straddle your monorail. You might want to come to your fingertips. Perfect, you got it. Beautiful. Oh, and let's change our springs, friends. We should be on 1 black spring. That 1 white is probably going to be a little too light. Good. Let's keep you there.
All right.
So donkey kicks, you're going to kick your right heel straight out behind you, and then you're going to bend the knee. So the knee is going to come down. So hips are square for me, Josiah. Kick your heel up and back, kind of like a bungee kick. Yep. And then you're going to bend the knee down. So a little bit of time to get us set up in this one. Let's talk about where we're at. So Josiah, if you want to walk your hands maybe in a little closer to you, and you can kind of tent the fingertips so the upper body, comes up a little bit higher. Hips and shoulders are squared to the floor. And I want you to think about kicking the right heel kind of up and slightly away from you. And then we'll bend the knee towards the back platform and then kick the leg up and away. Core is super tight here. So this is a final little burn here for our right leg. I want you to be feeling the right glute. And wherever you are feeling this donkey kick the most in your body, okay, check in, your abs are super tight. We're gonna hold in 3, 2, wherever you feel it the most, hold it right there. Give me a little pulse, tiny pulses. You've got 10 seconds. We go right into scrambled eggs for a right oblique. In 4, in 3, 2, 1. Take that straight leg off to the right. So you're gonna tap your right toes as far to the right as you can. Keep the hips level, and then slowly sweep the right leg straight up and back. Good. So try not to let your body weight dump into your left arm or your left hip. Think equal length through both sides of the waistline. And this is an anti-rotational movement, right? So your obliques are working to keep you stable and to keep your body from twisting out of alignment. So the more you focus on keeping your torso perfectly still, the more you're gonna feel your obliques work, right? And I feel this one the most as I bring my right toes down towards the floor to the right, right? My whole core lights up to stabilize. Great job. We're gonna go 15 seconds here. We'll take this cable into our hands and have a seat. We're gonna get into a tailbone torso twist. Right oblique will be facing away from your machine in 4, 3, 2, and 1. So have a seat on the floor. You're gonna face to the side for me, Josiah. So right oblique is sit down, is facing away, sit on your glutes, and it's a tailbone torso twist. So cable in hand, from here, elbows are bent, shoulders back, you'll hinge back till the abs catch, and then we're gonna twist to the right. So just to make sure we're all set up the same, the left side of your body is facing the front of the machine, the right side is facing away from your machine. Good. And then you'll want to look at your cable and try to kind of line up with the cable so we're not really far behind it or forward. The cable's kind of going straight across your body. Perfect. slowly and with control. I want you to imagine this exercise a lot like you're wringing out like a washcloth, right? And that washcloth is your waistline. If you feel a lot of gripping in the hip flexors, you're welcome to do this one upright on the knees or sitting glutes to heels. Chest is open and lifted. In 4, we're gonna hold the twist. In 3, 2, I want you to hold that twist. Give me a tiny little pulse, tiny little pulse. Every time you pulse, I want a little forceful exhale, squeeze and wring out through the waistline. You're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. From here, keep the strap right at heart center. You're gonna send your arms forward away from you and then bend the elbows back in. So last little burnout here. We have a giant twisted wheelbarrow on deck. You can stay on black or for a little less intensity down to one white. Knees on the back platform, hands to your carriage. Giant twisted wheelbarrow in 3, 2, and 1. So use the cable to pull the carriage to you. Knees will be on the back platform, hands to the carriage. From here, we're gonna bring our right oblique slightly to face the floor. So shoulders, hips, knees, one long line. We're gonna slide the hands out away from us and bring them back in. Right, where you place your hands makes a difference. So if it's a little too intense there, hands on the inside edge of the carriage will make this less intense. Squeezing your thighs together, or you can do what Josiah just did and walk your hands forward to make it even harder. Awesome. So twisted wheelbarrow, we're hitting that right oblique. You're also working your lats. Soft bend in the elbows, you're gonna get into the triceps as well. Good, great job here. All right, friends. We're gonna come back to our work with that cable. We're gonna hit our right arm next. So the cable that is on your right hand side, we're gonna hit a single arm sexy back. You've got 10 more seconds here. Lengthen out through the neck, slide the shoulders away from the ears, keep lifting the right oblique away from the floor. Single arm sexy back in 3, 2, and 1. So kneeling behind the machine, grab the cable on your right hand side. Let's just go single arm sexy back. So left hand can use the back platform as kind of a little bit of support for the core. You can also do this one just sitting the hips over the heels and balancing. What I want to see here is that the shoulder blades are slightly squeezing together and down towards your back pockets, right? Your neck is in neutral space. Your right elbow is rolled up and back. And as you do this, your right shoulder isn't hunching forward, right? So the right shoulder is in its socket.
You got a little handy there, buddy.
Good. In 4, send the right arm back and hold. In 3, 2, send it back, hold. Give me those little pulses. Little tiny pulses. You're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, full range of motion. You've got 10 seconds. We're gonna get into a single arm newspaper. So it's gonna be a quarter turn to your right. If it's a little heavy, grab your foot strap. In 3, 2, and 1. So quarter turn to the right. And I prefer to sit my hips to my heels on this one. Palm is facing towards the midline of your body. You're gonna open the forearm over to the right, resist back in. So if this feels too heavy, right, this is a small group of muscles. You can grab the foot strap. You have a seat on top of your back platform, although it's a little narrow for this one. Or you can also do this movement without the cable, okay? You can just work on that rotation without the cable. Good. And this one is great for the health of your shoulder, okay? So this may not feel like we're doing a lot, but trust me, this is a really important exercise. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is we are not bending at the wrist joint. Good. We want to bring that arm in and then out. So not so much across the midline of the body. I want you to stop before you reach the midline of your body. There we go. And if you're upright the way Josiah is upright, right, because the angle of the cable, it's going to make your shoulder burn a bit more. So hips to heels will help with that. Let's go 10 seconds. We are gonna get into single arm newspaper side 2. So we'll switch out our cables, we'll turn around, face the other way in 3, 2, and 1. So switch out your cables, turn to face the other way. We go single arm newspaper for the left arm here. And I like to set the cable I'm not using just on top of the carriage so that it's not dragging underneath the machine. So that might be a good strategy that works for you here. Focus on posture, really tall through the spine, recommit to your core. And anytime we're doing this single arm work, right, this is a really nice place to focus in on these smaller muscles, right, which can elicit quite some burn here, but it also gives us a chance to kind of mentally reset. So taking some deep breaths, right, focusing in on something that feels maybe a bit more manageable than some of the other exercises. Good, nice control. We've got just about 20 seconds to go here. Okay, so don't forget about the rest of the body. Tall through the spine, core is engaged. Check in that the wrist is staying neutral. 10 seconds. We'll get into our single arm sexy back, hitting the back side of that left arm in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So turn to face the front of the machine. Right hand can be on the back platform. Row the left elbow up and back. Find that hinge forward and slowly extend the arm straight back behind you. So sexy back, one of my favorite exercises, right? We're hitting our triceps, which are the money maker of the arm, but also you are engaging all of the muscles along your back, right? So really important as we do this one, that we're not rounding through the upper body. And something I see quite often as we do this one is as we start to get tired, the head of our shoulder starts to dump down towards the floor. So even though my spine is pretty long here, my shoulder is rolling forward. So I want you to think shoulders roll up, down, and back, and that's where we're gonna keep them, right? And then we get that extension out through the arm, and the shoulder is where it needs to be. Let's send the arm back and hold in 3, 2, send it back, hold. Give me a little pulse, little pulse, little pulse, little pulse. 10 seconds. We will get into our giant twisted wheelbarrow. Both cables on top of your carriage. Use the cable to pull the carriage to you. Here's 3, 2, and 1. So pull the carriage to you. Left oblique is working, so knees on the back platform, hands to your carriage. You're gonna go ahead and swivel your left oblique to slightly face the floor, squeeze the inner thighs together, find that twisted plank, and then start to send the arms forward and back in. So you can take this exercise down to one white. I know it's really tough here on one black. This is the only little plank move we're doing on this heavy spring load off the back. So maybe just enjoy the extra challenge. And if your range of motion's smaller, no big deal, right? You know you're on a heavier spring load, so this should be more challenging. Awesome job, friends. Can you keep your neck nice and neutral? Woo, Josiah, going for it. All right, let's go 15 seconds. We're gonna hit our tailbone torso twist for the left oblique. So the cable that's on the left-hand side of your machine will come into your hands and we'll be facing, we'll take a quarter turn to our left to get into that tailbone torso twist. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. So grab the cable on your left-hand side, have a seat on the floor behind your micro. Left oblique faces away from the machine, right oblique faces the front, and we're into our tailbone torso twist. So couple pointers on this one. I like to squeeze the inner thighs together. That way I know if my hips are moving, because you'll feel your knees slide out of alignment, right? That's a really good indicator the hips are moving. We don't want the hips to move in this one because we're twisting through our waistline, right? Think about wringing out a washcloth, right? Narrowest part of your body, your waistline, and I want you to exhale, squeeze, wring it out, and then resist back. Both of your obliques are gonna work in this exercise. Good, so you might feel this one a lot in the right oblique too, but I want you to focus on the left oblique. And sometimes something that can help with that is if you lighten your grip with the right hand and you focus on sort of drawing the left elbow over to the left using your left oblique. Nice. In 4, let's hold our twist. In 3, 2, find that twist, hold. Give me a little pulse, tiny little pulse, little squeeze. You're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring that strap right back out to heart center. And now send the arms forward, back in. Try not to let the carriage move, just send the cables forward, bend the elbows in. We're gonna go 10 seconds. Scrambled eggs next. You're gonna take the foot strap onto your left foot, right knee back platform, hands to the floor in 3, 2, and 1. So let's place the foot strap around the arch of your left foot, right knee on the back platform. Hands will come to the floor and hands are gonna straddle your monorail. I like to tap my fingertips to get a little bit more lift through the upper body. And you want your hands wider than your carriage. Good. And this is an excellent move. If it is a little too tough with a cable, you can do this without the cable. So toes are going to tap all the way down and over to the left as far as you can, and then sweep the leg up and back. Awesome. So hips, shoulders square, lengthen out through the spine. Feel into the sides of your waistline and think about length between your shoulder and your hip, and trying to keep that length the same on both sides. So we're not crunching into the right side as we sweep the left leg back. Yes, nice. Awesome. We're gonna go 15 seconds just like this. You've got your donkey kicks on deck, so we're moving right back into the other side of legs. And this will be the last move we do with our cables. So we're getting ready to ditch those cables here pretty soon. In 4, let's get into our donkey kick. In 3, 2, and 1. So we're gonna bend the left knee towards the back platform, and then we're gonna kick the heel up and away from us. So kind of like halfway between a straight leg extension and a bungee kick straight up, right? We're kind of kicking up and out. And as you tap your left knee down towards the platform, don't come so far in that you lose the resistance in the cable, right? We want constant tension in the backside of the left leg. Good, recommit to your core here. Maybe a soft bend in the elbows, engaging through the chest a little bit more, as well as the arms. Notice where you're feeling the work the most intensely in the backside of your leg, and see if you can stay there a little bit more. I have really good news for you. So we are gonna start this side of legs in arguably our toughest leg exercise on this side, which is gonna be our back lunge. Okay, so up next, we're gonna take off our cables, and we're gonna go back to one white spring, and then we'll hit back lunge for the left leg. I want you to find a little hold right here. So wherever you feel the donkey kick the most, hold and little pulses. 10 seconds. It is one white spring. Take off the cables. You have 5. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly set it down. Let's go ahead and detach our cables. Just get them out of the way. While we're taking the cables off, we're going to change our springs to one white. And then we'll take the carriage to the back of the machine. It will be left foot over the back platform. Right toes will tuck wherever they're comfortable in the carriage. Good. Feet hip width apart. Slowly lower down into your lunge. Nice work. All right. I hope y'all had some fun with your straps, and now that fun is done. So here we are going to finish out our leg series. We're going to get a little bit more fun going for the core, like super, super quick. Good, nice range of motion here, Josiah. In 4, we're gonna meet at the bottom of our lunge and hold. In 3, 2, take it on down, hold, freeze your left leg. Let's go carriage kick, slide the right knee in underneath the right hip, slowly slide it out. Beautiful job. Everybody at home, I want you to ask yourself if you can sit a little bit lower in this back lunge. You might have a little bit more to give on this side versus the other side. This left leg's a little bit more fresh. You're doing great here for 4. For 3, we go back to the lunge, don't explode. In 2 and 1. So back leg is long, drive into the left heel slowly and with control, lift it up. Yes, so freaking good. Okay, do not stand up, do not shake it out. We're just getting started on this side, and you know how these exercises build one on top of the other, right? The goal is to fatigue your legs all the way, right? Finding that full burnout. So we have to commit to this lunge. We have to commit to every single move we do. Right? And it's not necessarily the best lunge you've ever done in your life, but it is the best lunge you are capable of doing right now. 15 seconds. Tap into your breath, right? Tap into any unnecessary strain, maybe the neck, the shoulders, right? Unfurrow your brow. In 4, we're gonna meet at the bottom and hold. In 3, 2, bring it on down, hold. Give me those carriage kicks. Let's go for it. Okay, on deck. We've got our uneven squats. We're gonna set up on the left-hand side of our front platform. Left foot on the floor, right foot on the carriage. In 4, in 3, 2, carefully let the carriage go. Left foot plants on the floor, right foot on the carriage, And we're gonna hit those uneven sumo squats. So my left foot's on the left-hand side of the front platform, right foot on the carriage, knees and toes, natural turnout. You'll sit your hips down and back into your squat, right? Pause at the bottom, drive through the heels, squeeze the glutes to lift up. Inner thighs are gonna work like crazy on this one to keep your carriage stable. Now remember, if you need a little more stability, what you're gonna do is inch closer to your back platform, right? The more you stretch out the spring, the more stable it is, a little less intense on the inner thighs. Good. We're starting to get into that golden twilight hour. It feels really nice. The sun is like perfect right now, huh? All right. Let's try to keep the carriage nice and steady. And then take a look at the alignment, right? So your hip, knee, and your middle toes should all be kind of pointed the same direction, right? Sometimes when we think turn out with the toes, we have a tendency to rotate the foot out way farther than our knee is gonna rotate out. And our feet are just a little wider than the hips. This isn't quite like a plie squat where we're really wide with the legs, and we are sitting some weight back into the heels. We're sitting the hips back behind us. In 4, let's find our hold in 3, 2, take it down right here. Let's find that hold. Sit the hips down and back an inch, up an inch, pulse the carriage out an inch, back in an inch. Hips down, up, slide the carriage out and in. You're gonna feel the inner thigh work like crazy on this one. Let's stay here 10 more seconds. We go back to full range of motion. In 4, 3, 2, full range. Okay. So we are really nicely set up for this next transition. So let's make it really smooth, right? This is not a time to grab a water break. We've got 10 seconds until our floor lunge. So we'll plant the left foot directly next to the front platform, right toes tuck onto the carriage. We'll meet in the bottom of our floor lunge to start in 3, 2, and 1. Step the left foot forward next to the front platform, right toes tuck where they're comfortable, feet hip width apart, come on down and hold, right? Don't wait. Big hinge forward from the hips. We're going to go ahead and sweep the arms back behind us, palms face up, squeeze the shoulder blades back in together, pump the arms up. Squeeze the triceps. You should feel them after all that work in sexy back. Maybe fly your chest forward a little more, maybe lower down just a little bit further for 4, for 3, 2, stay here. We go right into the carriage kick. Slide the right knee in underneath the right hip. Can you stay as low as you just were? Can you keep the left knee right over the heel? Give it a shot. Just try and see what happens. What is the worst thing that can happen if you try as hard as you can? Right? What's the worst thing that can happen if you go a little bit lower? Maybe you got to come back up. It's no big deal. In 4, let's go into our lunge. In 3, 2, back leg is long. Drive through left heel. Slowly lift it up. Take your time. So freaking good. Okay. We are going to hit one more little finisher for the legs, okay? All the work we've done today has been all about stability. It's all been lighter spring work, a little bit of pulling off the back of the machine. I want to get you one heavier exercise to finish out your legs, just to round out all of that work. We got a little bit to go in this floor lunge though first. So bring it on down and hold in 3, 2, we're gonna bring it down, hold. Draw the right knee in underneath the hip, and we go split squats. Dip the right knee down as low as you can. Drive through left heel, lift up. Take it on down. Good. What's going on? How are you doing here?
I'm just watching a whale out there.
Oh, Josiah says he can see a whale? What? That's amazing, amazing. We got whales in the background, friends. I'm guessing you're probably not gonna be able to see it. It looks like it's off frame, but keep going in your split squat. And just know that, you know, there's some lovely whale energy in the space with us. Maybe you can feel that. I don't know if you get excited about whales, but I get really excited about whales, so it's just they're pretty freaking awesome. In 4, hold it down. In 3, 2, take it down. Lowest point hold. I haven't forgotten about you. Send the carriage out. Let's go back to the floor lunge. Drive through the left heel, slowly lift up. You are 30 seconds to the end of this floor lunge. We're gonna go to 1 red spring. We're gonna hit some outer thigh squats to round out this leg work. I'm really hoping that I'm gonna get a chance to see the whale too. Sometimes there's like a few of them out here. We've seen a few splashes. It is freaking exciting every single time. 10 seconds. one red. Squats, face any direction you want. In 5, 4, 3, 2, change your springs quickly, quickly. Last leg exercise, it is one red spring. Face any direction you want. Feet inside the straps. If you're using them, send the carriage out a little wider than your hips. Let's go ahead, sit the hips down and back, and just pause here in the squat for a moment. So seal down the outer edges of your feet. Give me a tiny flare of those knees wide so you feel your outer glutes. Wrap your abs in and around you, shoulders back. Now see if you can sit your hips down and back 1 inch further. Pause right there. Dig your heels into the surface below you. Slowly lift it up 2. Slowly lift it up 3. On 4, you're not even close to straightening the legs. Take it right back down, right back down. Press the carriage out 1 inch further. Okay, this is the only really heavy spring work we've done, and it's really targeting the outer line of the legs, right? So much of the work today is then focused on the inner lining of your thighs as well as your glutes and hamstrings. This is gonna get the outer side of the thighs. In 4, hold it down. In 3, 2, take it down, hold. Drive through your heels, squeeze your glutes. Lift up an inch, sink the hips down and back an inch. Lift up an inch, down and back an inch. Lift up, down and back. You're here for 4, 3, 2, sink it down, lowest point. Send the carriage out half an inch further. Seal down the outer edges of the feet. Flare the knees out of touch. Squeeze your glutes, slowly lift it up. Right here. 30 seconds to finish out your legs. Take a couple deep breaths. Right, try to increase the sensation in your legs. Either send the carriage out a little further, linger at the bottom of the squat a little bit longer. In 4, final hold. In 3, 2, bring it down, hold. Seal down the outer edges of the feet. Push the carriage out a tiny bit further. Flare the knees a tiny bit wider. Sit the hips down and back an inch. Drive through the heels, lift up an inch. Final 10 seconds, we go one white spring. It is a super crunch. Have a seat on your back platform. Change your springs. You got 2 moves left in class. Here's 3, 2, 1. Quickly change the springs. Let's go one white. Have a seat on your back platform. Heels hook over the rail, toes under the strap. Hands behind your head, squeezing your thighs together. Slowly send the carriage out away from you as you hinge back through the upper body. Squeeze through the core. Lift your heart space straight up towards the sky. Hug the knees in. Use your upper and your lower abs to do this move here. I thought he was getting a sweet break. No, we got 2 moves left in class, right? You might as well finish what you started. Chin up off the chest. There you go. Squeeze the glutes beneath you. That'll help you get out of your hip flexors if you're feeling them at all. Oh my word. All right, friends. I want you to fire up your core. You've got 15 seconds left on the super crunch. Final exercise is a giant pike to bear. So kind of like what we did at the beginning of the class on the front of the machine, only now we're on the back of the machine. In 4, give me a giant plank. Hands to the carriage, feet to the back platform. In 3, 2, 1. Don't think, just move. Tuck the toes, hands to the carriage. Find your giant plank. Hold. From here, you're gonna pike your hips up towards the sky. At the top of your pike, bend the knees down to that bear hover. Lengthen out into your plank. Now that you got the move, go slower. Use your abs. Pike up, squeeze, and the pike might not be as big as it was at the beginning of class, no big deal. Bend the knees, lower down to that hovering bear, lengthen back out. Or your pike may look even stronger than it did at the beginning of class. Very impressive. All right, final exercise, final move of class. I want you to finish strong. I want you to finish how you want to feel. And remember, how you do anything, how you do this is how you do everything. Right? Are you going to quit on yourself in the final 20 seconds of class? I don't think so. Right? If you need to come to the knees, hit a quick wheelbarrow, no big deal. If you step out, no big deal, but you're going to get back into it. You're going to finish strong. You have 10, 9, 8, keep moving, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose, you are done. Sit your hips to your heels, stretch your arms forward. Woo. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Let it go. One more time, big inhale. Full exhale. I am so proud of you. Okay, let's make our way up to seated. Just go ahead and turn to face us so we can take a couple deep breaths together. Inhale, circle sweep, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, deep breath in, stretch up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Awesome, awesome, awesome job. Thank you so, so much for working out with us. Y'all are amazing. We love you so much. Have an excellent rest of your day, and we will see you soon. Good job.